Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to your favorite channel, Huda TV. You guys were talking about seeking knowledge, rather the virtues of seeking knowledge with two of your favorite Shaykh, Dr. Muhammad Salah as well as Dr. Hatem al Haj. We're talking about in these final two segments of this episode, Mishkah University. You don't have to travel to far away, foreign, distant lands like Egypt, KSA, Yemen, and Syria. You can do it at home, inshallah. We're going to talk about that in these final two segments. But before we do that, I'd like to take two phone calls from our dear and respected viewers. First, brother Hamzallah, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Go ahead. Oh, we had that call via Skype. Are you still there, brother? Seems like the... All right, there you are. Alaikum salam, brother. Go right ahead.
Yes, brother, I am Abu Hamzallah from KSA.
MashaAllah. Go ahead, brother. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, I am listening about the topic, and about this topic of knowledge of Islam is very important for being a Muslim for us. So, according to related that question, I have some question. I have heard from someone that, not from authentic source, that in Islam, husband can't live away from his wife for more than 4 months. As I am living in KSA and my wife is living in Pakistan.
Okay.
So is it true? Can you provide me the source? It is from our part of religion that husband should not stay away from his wife for about 4 months or more.
Okay, I think I got your question, brother. Thank you so much. Inshallah, we have two very qualified people. You picked the right program to call into to answer your question, inshallah. Please stay tuned, brother, and perhaps we can get them to answer it towards the end of the episode, inshallah. They'll clarify that for you, inshallah. Thank you so much, brother. I believe we have another phone call via Skype as well. Go right ahead. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Let's Talk. Okay, we're going to wait 1 second while she gets that line back on. In the meantime, Dr. Hatem, Mishkah University. Can you inform the viewers a little bit about it and tell us what your role is in this university?
Well, Mishkah University, it's a new name, but it is not a new institution because Mishkah University is the product of the merger of two previous institutions that are higher learning institutions as well. Sharia Academy of America, it used to teach in Arabic and English, and the International University of Latin America, which taught in Arabic and Spanish. The course in Spanish not fully developed yet, but we started to teach some courses in Spanish, hoping to complete the course in the near future, inshallah. So the merger of the two organizations, they were presided over by one professor, which is Dr. Salah, who is a former professor at Al-Azhar, Al-Qura, Jamiat Imam Muhammad ibn Saud. He also was the director of the Center of Implementation of Sharia in Islamabad, Pakistan. So since he presided over the two institutions, it was sort of natural that they merge. So they merged, and the product of this was Mishkah University.
Okay, excellent.
Mishkah is an online university predominantly. It does have on-site functions in different branches.
Physical locations.
Physical locations in Detroit, in Houston, Texas, in
Dr.
Montreal.
Salah's hometown, Houston. Okay, Montreal as well.
In Montreal, yeah, as well. That's for boosting the online education, but predominantly the backbone is the online education, and it's 5th generation, which means synchronized interactive education.
Okay.
Because distance learning is not all the same. It's not all created the same.
Okay.
There is the online, which is a step up from the correspondence.
Okay.
And then the online could be non-interactive, which is basically recorded materials stored in a library, or interactive. The interactive may be synchronized or asynchronized. Asynchronized is where you send a question to the teacher and the teacher emails back the answer to you. The synchronized is where you have a virtual classroom where you and the teacher exist at in the same virtual classroom at the same time.
And this is what you guys are doing, this university?
And this is what Dr. Muhammad Salah and I do in that virtual classroom. There would be students. The students can ask their questions in writing or verbally.
Okay. I see. It's quite advanced then.
Yeah. So it's basically an effort to move the Islamic education online forward. There are other organizations and there are other efforts as well. There are other institutions, and work on the same issue. Huda Academy, for instance, your own academy,
sure, of course,
is trying to take part in.
And we're all working towards the same
effort.
goal, of course.
Yeah.
Dr. Hatem, you talked about Dr. Muhammad Salah is also involved in this project, so you're both involved in this project. Perhaps you guys can tell me what exactly your roles are.
Basically, he leads the Huda Academy, and I teach in it, and
That's a nice one.
I'm the administrator, the dean of the College of Islamic Studies at Mishkah University, and Dr. Muhammad Salah teaches in it as well.
Aqidah as well, or?
So, yeah, I'd like also to add that because you brought up the issue of seeking knowledge, and you don't really have to be like brought up from the beginning in Islamic school or in a madrasa, as they like to call it. Now, Dr. Hatem al Haj himself is a pediatrician. He is a big-time MD, very famous, very successful, mashallah, in his life. And we have on board many doctors. Some of ours who were medical students, now they're doctors, mashallah, and they're also teaching along with us. So this is a message for everybody in every field. You can still be in your profession, and meanwhile, not just obtain the minimum requirement of the religious knowledge, you can continue to seek the religious knowledge until you become specialized and professional in teaching religious knowledge as well.
Excellent point. Actually, I had a 10-year-old boy teach me how to read Quran. It made me cry, actually. I felt so sad because it's a humbling experience. But this is your point. I understand you could be a doctor, a professor, but still.
Absolutely.
Right. Excellent. Dr. Hatem, we're talking about Mishkah University. Of course, there's many universities out there offering Islamic information. What gives your university the edge, so to speak?
It is not about the edge. We try as much as we can to provide.
It's also about the edge.
We try as much as we can to provide the best service that we could provide in terms of online Islamic education in English, synchronized, interactive. I think we provide the most amount of synchronized, interactive education.
Excellent.
So the communication between the teacher and the students
is direct,
and it is interactive. They are present in the same virtual classroom once a week. There is also the recorded materials that the student will have in their library. In fact, we are starting, if people would like to test it out, they can register.
What is the
We're
URL,
starting
Doctor?
on September 8th, the fall semester. It's mishkahuniversity.com, www.mishkah, M-I-S-H-K-A-H, university, as in university.com.
Simple. Okay, and they can get online now and enroll for this.
They can get online now and enroll and test it out, take 1 or 2 courses. I think Dr. Muhammad Salah has a course. I have a course as well, and I'm teaching a course as well. So they can try out one of us or both, or someone else from the university. There's like a selection of instructors that are really handpicked to not only convey the right knowledge, but also to be great role models for the students. They have religious commitment and high moral standard.
Similarly, the syllabus, the curriculum is carefully selected and professionally selected, because there was a caller who asked, the young viewer, who asked, how can we find out this is an authentic source of knowledge? So this is, for instance, I voucher for its credibility and its authenticity. This is one of, you know, when you give yourself up to somebody whom you know, that whom you trust, his deen, amana, and the religious knowledge. The combination of 3 of them is not easy to find. There are some learned people, I cannot call them scholars. They have memorized a lot, they have studied a lot, but meanwhile he may be a heavy smoker or clean shaved, and he is a very learned person in his field. So you take his knowledge, but you are afraid to take from his Islamic etiquette, from because he's not really following the Sunnah. So when you find a combination of all together, carefully selected and handpicked, it puts you in the right position.
Thank you for those excellent comments, Dr. Salah. Go ahead, Dr.
But I also need to say that this is not a replacement for on-site direct learning. When people have the capacity or have the opportunity to travel far away
Okay.
to Al-Azhar, to Medina University, and to other universities in Pakistan. There is many institutes and so on. If they have that opportunity, then they should certainly do that, because there is much to learn from the constant interaction with the teachers in class.
That's the
But
ideal.
this is the second best, and we should always work to make alternatives,
Right.
and not have only one option for those who want to seek knowledge. But someone who studies online may actually exceed and surpass people who studied on-site, because it depends on your commitment, your interest, your intellectual capacity. But all of this effort is basically to facilitate for this knowledge to be available, accessible to all seekers wherever they are. If they can't move away from their location, then the knowledge will get to them.
Thank you for sharing those excellent insights, because as we have these brothers here from Albania, my neighbor, Malaysia, this is ideal to travel, like you said. But it doesn't have to be all or nothing. We can still study from home.
Absolutely.
Dr. Hatem, Dr. Muhammad, we receive a lot of questions and callers. Brother Ahmed was asking us a very valuable question. He said perhaps we can answer them briefly here. Can I travel, can I attend a co-ed university?
Well, I'll let Dr. Muhammad Salah answer this question. I'll answer the question. I'll answer the question about the sister that asked first. The first question she asked about the 4 months, or I guess it was a brother who was asking about the 4 months away from your wife. Basically, it's never recommended to stay away from your wife for an extended period of time. The 4 months is not directly from the Prophet ﷺ, even though there is some inference to it in the Quran, in the shunning of wives. Those who shun their wives, they have a period of 4 months sort of to reconsider.
Okay.
But where did the 4 months come from? Umar radiallahu anhu heard a woman complaining about the separation, from her husband, who had been sent by Umar radiallahu anhu on an expedition. And then Umar went to his daughter, Hafsa radiallahu anha, al-Mu'mineen, the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and asked her, for how long can a woman stay away from her husband, or tolerate staying away from her husband? And she said 4 months, and Umar sort of dictated that no one will be sent away for longer than 4 months, and this is where it came from. Yet, upon mutual agreement between the two spouses, if the husband needs to be away for 6 months or 7 months, it is okay upon mutual agreement. When they
with mutual consent.
It's never recommended to stay away for prolonged periods.
Thank you, Dr. Hatem, for this. Before we get your thoughts as well, Dr. Salah, we have a phone call from China, actually. It's the first phone call I received from China, so I really want to take this call. Assalamu alaikum, sister. Thank you for calling us. What part of China are you calling from? Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Let's Talk. You're our first caller from China. Go ahead. Landing from China. Go ahead, Landing. Landing, can you hear us?
China is really far.
China is really far. I believe we have some hadith about seeking knowledge as far as China. Is that true, Dr. Salah?
No, it's not a hadith, by the way. It's a fabricated hadith.
Okay, so we want to quote it then on the show.
Even though the meaning is correct.
Okay,
because we're supposed to seek knowledge, even if we have to travel long distances, and this is what our predecessors did.
Okay.
They traveled all around the world in order to verify the authenticity of one hadith.
Excellent point. And we'll wait for that call, Sister Landing or Brother Landing. We're waiting for you to get back on the line. Dr. Muhammad, would you briefly like to comment on Dr. Hatem's remarks concerning staying away from your wife for 4 months?
No, I can't comment on Dr. Hatem.
No, I thought, okay.
No, I actually referred the other question to him.
The other question,
the co-ed.
The co-ed university, it's a question that you received on Ask Huda, I know. How do you feel about that?
And I normally encourage men and women as well to seek knowledge, not only the religious knowledge, to get a degree, to be professional, and so on. Because I have seen my Muslim community in America, since we're all doctors and professional, it was a lot easier for us to give da'wah and present Islam. People were more ready to listen to us because, Not only non-Muslims and local Americans, and we were in an area which they call it a Bible Belt.
Yeah,
okay?
right.
But they were happily listening to us in the churches, in the synagogues, and so on.
Right.
One of the reasons is because of the profession and your position in the community. It was easy to gather all the doctors in any hospital to listen to one of us and give them a lecture, a combination of medical ethics and Islamic etiquette. And that will be published in the paper and so on, and everybody will talk about it. I mean, I encourage everybody to be professional, whether an engineer, whether a dentist, a doctor, a teacher, an English literature person, a writer. We need that. Unfortunately, in most of the Western countries and also Muslim countries, there is the co-education or the mixed boys and girls.
Right.
So this is something that you cannot avoid if you are a man or if you are a female. There are a couple of things. Nowadays, there is also the distance learning within the university itself. You can attend the courses online and you can obtain a degree. You just go for the exams, and if there are some practical lessons and so on. So this is an option. The second option, if there is no availability to being studying distance learning and so on, where you have to attend the courses. I taught in many universities around the world. For instance, recently in Auckland University in the UK. I was very, very proud of the Muslim community there, and have seen an amount of students and sisters who are wearing niqab that I have not seen in any Muslim university. Okay? So when there is a big group of Muslim community like MSA in the United States and North America, in some universities they are very powerful. So if you have the option to study and communicate with the MSA, for instance, and say, if there are a larger number of Muslim students, I can attend their class. I mean, I would minimize the risk as much as I can, but I would not avoid it entirely because it is needed. I cannot volunteer to tell everybody do not study in schools because there is a mixed education, but try your best to avoid the fitna and hang around with the right party, with the right peer, with the MSA or the Muslim Student Association in any university. The second point, which is in case of fearing the fitna, then the right option is as-salamatu la ya'diluha shay. If you feel that yourself are being deviated, going astray, then of course you gotta quit anything that is deviating you, including the education.
Excellent point. Thank you, Dr. Salah, for your insights. We have about 2 minutes left. By the way, Brother Landing cut off from China. I'm sorry, brother. Give us a call back. Brother Landing, all the way from China. Dr. Hatem, we have about 2 minutes left before the episode is over. Can you give us some brief remarks about Mishkah University? Maybe perhaps talk about the accreditation and possible fees and how people can enroll now.
People can just enroll online. You know, you can just log in, and you will be able to enroll and register online, and have student support to help you with any difficulties that you may encounter in your enrollment. And then once you have enrolled, there will be orientation for the students, and they will get to learn more. The fees are pretty nominal. $50 per hour is a very nominal fee given all of the work that is needed. In fact, the majority of the workers for the university, or the majority of the work in the university, is volunteer work. That's why we can make the fees this low. So it's basically $50 per credit hour, and for those who can't afford it, there is a sliding scale, and there will be scholarships, and there is a policy that no student shall be left behind.
That's wonderful. That's great. That's really thoughtful for all Muslims.
It will never be a problem. Because what is actually meant is to make this knowledge accessible to all people, to all seekers.
Which really means no one should have an excuse for not seeking the religious knowledge. You can seek this at the comfort of your home. If you can afford it, that is fine. If you can't, there is still a way. But every Muslim should really, really seek the required Islamic knowledge.
Okay, you both, Dr. Muhammad, Dr. Hatem, I don't know who to thank first. Thank you for appearing on the show.
Of course, Dr. Hatem first. No question about it.
Dr. Hatem, thank you so much for appearing on your show and talking to us about Mishkah University. Dr. Salah, thank you for telling us about the virtues of seeking knowledge. And Brother Nabil, I'm sorry I didn't get to your question. And everybody in the studio audience, thank you guys so much for joining us. I know you guys are busy students as well. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule. Dear viewers at home, thank you for tuning in to another edition of Let's Talk. We certainly hope you enjoyed it and you benefited from it. Don't forget to log online, www.
Mishkah University, MISHKAH University.com.
Excellent, you guys. So until next time, it's on the screen now. So until next time, we leave you in the care of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
When things go wrong as they sometimes will, when the road you're treading seems all uphill, when things go wrong as they sometimes will, when the road you're treading seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the dips are high, and you want to smile but have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but do not ever quit. Success is a failure turned inside out. Let's talk and clear the clouds of doubt. Success is a failure turned inside out. Let's talk.